Hello, this is Cool Bluebird, the developer for the game Mori. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the status of the game right now and, share a little bit of what's going on, what the next steps are, and where we are. Right now I'm at a pretty pivotal point. As you can see here, it's coming along great. I am kind of in a little bit of a stuck point here. Previously, I had a tester who I had worked with. He was a good friend of mine. However, he won't be gone for a while, as you can see, 5 years. So I'm kind of on my own for the rest of development when it comes to testing. A wise person told me that your game needs testers to figure things out to make it as smooth as possible for the user. So it's very, very important to me. In terms of the state of the game, for those who may not be as interested or care as much for that, mechanically I'd say the game's about 90% done. I have pretty much the beginning part to the end. I think some things off the top of my head I know need to be done as a proper tutorial. I do have some stuff with the final boss I'm working on. Also, music is something that I do need to have finished and worked on. However, testing and debugging are big, important parts of that. And I ideally, especially if this being a paid game, I have the intention of this being a game that people pay for to play. I want this to be as bug-free as possible. I'm not expecting perfection, of course, but I want it to be as bug-free as you could possibly get. I want it to be very, very well tested. And so realistically, I think percentage-wise, the game's probably around 65% done because of that. However, I feel that this would probably go by a bit faster, since one of the slow parts of development is consistently my art. I have a very unique style, but I'm oftentimes a little slow, and so it kind of tends to pull me back compared to how much coding I end up doing. So it would probably go by faster than there would be if I was having to draw and make unique stuff for it. So my kind of window I'm aiming for is kind of like a summer release. But anyways, those who are coming to test the game, don't expect anything super mind-blowing, because your job is to find bugs and to give feedback on the user experience. So, it is a game in progress. The main thing is balancing. That is still something I am figuring out. The game's still kind of figuring out its niche a little bit with what type of RPG dungeon crawler it's going for. So balancing and bug finding are going to be your very, very important things, including the user experience. I want to, help the game communicate things to you. One of those, as you may have noticed from my previous videos, is the tooltip system, where things will appear when you hover over them. That is going to be communicated. I do want to improve that and how that is. It's not really explicitly said, but that is one of the things I want to work on. As in, what would you get in return? Well, like I said, Mori is going to be a paid game. I haven't got an exact amount I'm going to charge for it, but I'd imagine less than a few dollars. I mean, I'm not really that famous or nothing like that, so I'm not expecting, something to explode overnight. However, that being said, it is reasonable to want to pay you for being a tester. So I would say it's probably going to be a commission-based deal. Simply just because I can't really pay you per hour, because I can't really, control or deal with all of that. So it would likely just be like, hey, I have this version, however much we specify and talk about. I'm just going to throw a random number and just say like $50 or something. Hey, bug test it out, go crazy, give me as much feedback as you want, whatever we agree on, of course. And I will give you half before, half after, or whatever we can agree on. Like I said, we can talk more specifics when we narrow it down. So how do you sign up? Well, I made a Google form that you can see below. Just click it, fill it out, tell me about yourself, tell me what makes you interested, what are you interested in, do you want to help with it? That's really it. Pretty straightforward, but If you do have any questions or anything, don't be afraid to reach out on either the comments, or you could just email me. I don't care.